Redd Foxx. He passed away over 30 years ago, but he is still providing laughs to millions of people to this very day.
See, I was in the Korean War. I lived all that stuff. Ask me something.
All right. Tell me about the McCarthy era.
McCarthy era. Well, that came right after the Beatle era. See, Paul McCarthy, he was in that group with Jack Lemmon and Bingo.
Over 15 million people would tune in every week to watch Fred and his son Lamont comically run their junkyard. America fell in love with Fred and the man behind the character Redd Foxx. Unlike some actors that can play a popular character, but behind the scenes rub others the wrong way, Redd made life a blast, even when the camera was off.
No, we get along great on and off the set, thank God, because it would be a miserable situation. I've worked with a lot of people that are difficult, and this is so nice to come to work.
Redd Foxx might have not lived the life of someone who preached about the Bible, but he lived one verse from it fully. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Something Redd would live by, but at times even to a fault, and he even admitted it.
Have you messed up money?
No, I don't think I messed it up, but I gave a lot of it away to people. You know what I mean? I'm just a soft touch.
Helping others out financially was one way he could help, and he wouldn't expect anything in return. Pat Morita spoke about this.
So he's writing a check. Pat Morita, $3,500. And as he's writing, before he signed his name, he says,
There's a famous quote, "Give a man a fish and you'll feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you'll feed him for a lifetime." Redd put this quote to work with his grade school friend Lawanda Page. Redd had worked the Chitlin circuit with Lawanda Page when she first got into stand-up comedy. So when the time came for a new character on Sanford and Son, Redd knew who could play the part best, Lawanda Page. The problem was she had never acted or taken any acting lessons. But Redd Foxx said, "Don't let that stop you."
Reed says, "I know you're going to get it because I know what you can do." So I went out the next morning to the studio and I read for Jane. I impressed her, and she's a wonderful person, very lovely person. And then I read for Aaron again, and next thing I knew, I was down in rehearsal hall 3, and the next thing I knew, I was in Esther.
But before Lawanda could make her show debut, producers felt she couldn't handle the part, and they were going to fire her and have her replaced. Redd once again stepped in. He told them, "Lawanda stays or I'm walking away with her."
That they did all this. And so they were going to let me go. And Redd says, "No, you're not going to let Lawanda go because I know what Lawanda can do." He says, "Give me a week, give me just one day with Lawanda." So let her come over to my place, on a Sunday.
How right Redd was. Redd showed he wasn't just a visionary, but a caring man who put his friends ahead of himself. Lawanda wasn't the first friend Redd would help out. Melvin Slappy White, another longtime friend and former comedy partner who he worked with in the Chitlin circuit after meeting him in Harlem in 1947. With a new show in 1972 that became an instant hit, Redd was able to get a part for Fred Sanford's best bud, Melvin Slappy White.
Do you know anybody around that might be able to use one?
Well, if he can use it, he's no longer around. And on the other hand, if he's around, he can't use it.
Yeah, that's a tough item to sell,
Melvin was already a well-known comic, but after his 6 appearances, he became a household name and was able to turn that into a $1 million contract to perform at the Flamingo Hotel in Las Vegas in 1973. Melvin would even join Redd on his variety show in the late 70s.
Yeah, Redd and I have been buzzed along. He gave me this watch. Look at that, shark-proof, dust-proof, self-winding, anti-magnetic, and the damn thing caught on fire.
Melvin was a great friend, but Fred's best friend was Bubba Bexley, and the actor Don Bexley had Redd to thank for his first television role at the age of 62. Don Bexley traveled the world for his comedy act, and when he returned from Asia, Redd was waiting for Don with the opportunity to play a role that would define his career.
Another car rammed into you from behind?
Yeah?
Cadillac?
Yeah?
White man?
Yeah?
Fred, you sitting on top of a gold mine.
What are you talking about, Bubba?
Redd convinced Bud Yorkin and Aaron Rubin to let Don Bexley join the cast. Once again, Redd's ability to see the potential in his close friends. and it would lead to major success for both parties, and lead to financial gain and steady work for them. Sometimes that was always number one on Redd Foxx's list. Don returned the favor by always having Redd's back, and never more so than in Redd's final show of the royal family. When Redd passed away in 1991, Don appeared on the show at the character's funeral. It was a special moment to see Redd's longtime friend saying his goodbye for all the world to see.
When Al and I had to take a test for promotion, Al helped me study. I got the job. Al didn't. Now that would make most men furious. And Al was one of those men.
Another good friend of Redd was Stymie Beard, famous from Our Gang comedy. Stymie had success as a youth but wasn't active through his middle years. He was addicted to drugs and spent some time in and out of jail. In the 70s, Beard made a comeback, a rare feat for children actors. Redd was able to help his buddy out and get him a handful of episodes. He played Grady's good friend Otis Littlejohn.
And you can listen down my throat. Sounds good. The lungs sound real good.
This was one of many hits for Beard, appearing in Good Times, The Jeffersons, Maude as well. He even made a cameo in the show Sanford just a bit before he passed away. Another couple of great friends in real life and in Sanford and Son, Leroy Daniels and Ernest Mayhew, better known as Leroy and Skillet.
Hello, Fred. Look, Skillet is Fred. Hello, Fred. Man, we know that's you behind them shades. What you trying to do? Hide.
Leroy goes way back with Redd, Skillet as well. All often worked together at the Chitlin circuit. Skillet would open for Lawanda, Leroy, and Redd during the comedy shows, so Redd was sure to get them into the act.
Y'all remember how we used to do the Lindy Hop?
Who? I invented it. What's this? Go ahead.
Next to getting Lawanda in the show, Leroy and Skillet might have been the best move Redd made. Even though they only appeared in 5 episodes, theirs were some of the highest rated ever made. From there, the two would go on to make several movies in the late 70s together, again turning Sanford and Son's success into much more. Redd once again helping his friends, able to feed themselves and take care of themselves down the road. And finally, let's turn to a good friend, one so close to Redd he would even help him buy a house.
Now look here. I don't want to hear about no papers, no payback, no interest, no IOU, no nothing. So you want to pay me back? I know you're going to make it one day, son. You do this for somebody. Never forgot it. Have done it. Fortunately, I got to that place he predicted I was going to get to.
Pat quit a successful job to try comedy. It would lead to him being the opening act for Redd Foxx at the Horn nightclub in Santa Monica. Morita would make his television debut in 1968 on Laugh-In, but in 1974, Redd Foxx would get Morita some major exposure on Sanford and Son. Lamont's buddy,
We're over here just to cook dinner for us tonight.
See, Mr. Sanford, I've had dinner here so often that I just figured it'd be nice if I cooked for you once, to wait a man's heart through his stomach, right?
Yeah, and the way to the street is use your feet.
Redd Foxx told Pat he would be a star one day, and once again, Redd's vision was correct. Pat would use his new success from his shows to be in Happy Days, MASH, and eventually The Karate Kid. Redd's ability to make all of us laugh was a natural gift that most don't have, and his vision to see the talent and abilities of others was never truly appreciated. The measure of a man's heart isn't how much he loves, but how much he is loved by others. And I can't think of a man who was loved more than Redd Foxx. That's FOXX, period. Thanks for watching, guys.